There's a quote that every creative hears at some point, and it's that you got to know the rules before you break them. It's simple, it sounds cliche and maybe a little bit repetitive, but every once in a while you actually see an artist that lives that, who embodies that ability. And to me, that's Danny Hastings. He's one of those artists. I was flipping through this composition book going back to 1980. And if you've ever seen one of these books, you know the vibe. They're precise, controlled, safe. Subjects are like, centered and clean. Everything is by the book. It's literally like the way you should take pictures. But then you look at Danny's work and it feels the total opposite. It's different. He knew the rules well enough to just break them aggressively. Angles feel a little uncomfortable sometimes and intentional. Compositions break the rule a little bit, and yet, for Danny it works. You look at these portraits here, it's all very safe and natural. This is it. This is how you should take photos. Looking through the composition guide, every once in a while I like to reference this and just kind of give a refresher on what photography was then and what it still is, what it should be. It's very human. Photography is the connection between the photographer and the subject, and that's a huge part of photography. And knowing the technical aspects of the camera and the film and the lighting is all very important. But one thing that gets lost in translation a lot of the times is the connection that the photographer has with the subject, which is almost the most important thing. You can be a reclusive person with a camera, I suppose, but more importantly, you got to be able to get out there and meet up with people and take their pictures. And before you do that, though, it's good to know how the camera works. And here's where a lot of creative people get it twisted. They see rule breaking and they think that it's like a move to ignore the fundamentals, but that's not really what's happening with Danny's work. Danny didn't accidentally break the rules. He understood them deeply enough to bend them on purpose. And there's a huge difference between not knowing the rules and choosing to break them. Look at this. You could mail a way to get stuff. I just love the fact that they used to, before the internet, that's how you got information, by mailing something away for $2 extra, I suppose there. But what makes Danny's work is like amazing is that you can see how he followed the rules and just was like, nah, forget it. I'm gonna put my own twist on all of this. The film processing is unique. The composition of the subject, where he shot and when he shot, like the motion blur, it's all very specific to Danny's style, which is a thumbprint. Something I advocate time and time again is that for photographers, it's important to put your thumbprint on your work. Make sure people know it's yours. And with Danny's work, that was always very clear. These albums are classic. People are still referencing and looking back at them to this day. And I just, it's amazing to see where the art has taken the music as well. This book I got from Danny, unfortunately this book is sold out. I'm really thankful to have it. Really appreciate the signature there. This picture here of Smooth the Hustler goes back a long time. I got this in Oshawa. He was doing a concert there. And we obviously went early and got pictures taken with Smooth. I don't know where the picture is, but he did sign that, and I've held on to it ever since. Of course, I would never get rid of it. Really thankful to have one of 150 copies that he put out of this book, which is just a beautiful book. There's 2 more on the way, I think. This is the first one, Legendario, and it's a really amazing book. I'm not gonna front it. Seeing the behind the scenes, seeing the film, seeing the outline of it, these pictures are really beautiful. Another classic example of film processing, a unique way of film processing that gives you your thumbprint, and that's what Danny put his thumbprint on everything. We're huge fans of Wu-Tang Clan, obviously huge fans of this artwork right here, so much so that when Danny made the print available with a RZA limited edition RZA print, my wife and I went ahead and made that purchase. Thankful to have that hanging on the wall, Wu-Tang forever, you know what I mean? But these pictures were shot on an 8x10. I've seen the negatives with my own eyes. I'm thankful to have met Danny Hastings at the offices of Urban Latino a long time ago, and I got to see the negatives. It was pretty amazing. This is one of my favorite photos of all time right here. It's Rampage, the Last Boy Scout. Really embodies what it was to be a backpacker in the 90s. I mean, if you could embody it in one picture, it's that photo right there. Really thankful for Danny's photos and just putting his stamp on hip hop in the 90s. I was happy to have purchased a lot of this hip hop and just lived through the moment, and thankful for the book.